Our first speaker is Jocelyn. She's been in residential programs, including Colony and Margaret. So she's going to talk to you about how Adelphi has impacted her and
Guess I'll start.
there is a microphone. Is there a microphone page?
Thank you. Hey, I'm a little nervous being here. Haven't been here in so long. I guess I'll start by telling you guys why I came here in the first place. When I was 15, I was drinking a lot, smoking weed. I just wasn't happy, I guess. I was depressed, and it was my way of escaping reality, I guess. So, my first placement was Pathways in Oil City. I didn't stay there very long. Wasn't a very good place, not a good experience. I was there for about a month. I got out, did some of the same things because I was still in a unhappy spot in my life. Then I went to New Outlook Academy. I completed their program successfully, went through their drug and alcohol program. So then I got out of there. My home life was rough. I didn't have a really good relationship with my mom, so whenever I got out, I continued to do the same things. And eventually I came to Adelphi. My first group home was Colony Home. I was pretty rowdy whenever I first came here. I was crazy. I eventually got FTA'd from Colony and went to Middle Creek. That was kind of like a wake-up call for me because, it wasn't very pleasant there. I'm sure some of you probably know what that was like. Yeah. The whole experience was traumatic. So, say going through Middle Creek, the hardest thing was just being locked in there, I lost touch with reality, kind of. Eventually, I had to learn to kind of get out of my head. I journaled a lot, wrote down all my crazy thoughts, things I wanted to say to people who made me mad. I would write that down instead of just bursting out and like getting restrained because I couldn't do that anymore. I was in Middle Creek. I was done messing around. So finally made myself get my crap together there. And then I stepped down from Middle Creek to Marker Home. I did pretty good at Marker Home. I want to say I was there for maybe 5 months until I got out. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah. Yeah, I have all of them in a duffel bag in my basement. There's like 20 from all the group homes. So, yeah.
What did you think when you actually got out of all of it?
What did I think when I got out?
How did you feel?
How did I feel? Oh my God. I remember the day I got out. I was like jumping up and down. I was so excited. It was an amazing feeling, but it was also scary entering the real world again. Yeah.
Where were you discharged to?
After I got out of Marker Home, I just went home. I was done.
Where was that at?
Where I live?
Yeah.
Indiana, PA.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
What have you been doing since then?
What have
and how long has it been?
I got out December 2018 of 2020. Whenever I got out, I just kind of like stayed home and enjoyed the simple things in life. Um, I got a job at Dairy Queen, which sucked, but I was making money because I had goals. I wanted to like get my own place and everything. So when I finally turned 18, I had enough money. I got my own apartment. I'm still living there now. Now I'm a direct support professional. I work with individuals with intellectual disabilities in group homes. I wanted to work in a setting like this, but I can't do that till I'm 21. I'm 20 right now. So,
So, oh, crap. So how did you continue to utilize, like, or did you like utilize the treatment modalities that were given to you once you did leave? And how did you implement that into your daily schedule?
that's a good question. I want to say I used a lot of self-control because whenever I first got out, I was on probation and I wanted to stay away from the things that got me in there in the first place. It was boring sometimes because like I wanted to go hang out with friends and stuff, but I knew it wasn't good for me and I was done with that. So I used self-control. I focused on my goals that I had, like getting an apartment, going to college, and I feel like that's how I got out of Adelphi was I stopped getting angry at people, and instead I just like it's okay to be angry and feel things, but I just stopped showing it in ways that got me in trouble, and I just stayed focused on my goals. And in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna be done with this crap soon. I'm gonna be out of here, you know. Anybody else?
Do you have any role models, like as a staff? Any staff or role models? Like somebody that helped you the most?
When I was at Colony, I had a staff named Zach. He doesn't work there anymore. I'd say he was my favorite one-on-one that I had, and I really connected with him.
Never mind.
Okay.
What do you think that helped you with the most?
Oh no, it wasn't Zach Buddy, it was Zach Z.
Oh yeah. What do you think he helped you with the most?
He kind of just like understood where I was coming from and was able to empathize with me. I think I never really felt like I could relate to people in there, and I always wanted someone to relate to, you know, and someone to listen to me, and he did that.
When you left, did you continue to like do therapy or counseling?
Oh yeah, I need therapy.
Too?
Yeah, I need it, or I'll go crazy in my head.
How long were you there, like in total?
At Adelphi, I think I was here from maybe late 2018 to 2020. I think I went to my first group home in 2017, though, I believe. Something like that.
So it's only been gone for
It's been 2 years and like 5 months. Yeah.
Do you still
Sorry.
remember?
Huh?
Do you still remember the conflicts? Like sometimes people think that the problems are still there. Do you still even remember the conflicts that you had with the other people?
No, they're not important. Honestly, don't get caught up in the stupid crap. Don't. It's not worth it. And don't get into relationships. It's a good distraction, but no. You don't want you're here to better yourself, not to like mess around with people who are also trying to better themselves. That's just a distraction. Don't do it. You had a question?
You said about how you kept all your journals in your basement. Do you ever like take time to reread them and like look through your thoughts and see if they're like people relate back to your past?
That's a good question. For a while, I was actually like really scared to look in that duffel bag and look at my journals because the whole process to me was like traumatic. I don't really like to think about it, or I kind of just after I got out, I kind of tried to forget everything. Actually, last night I did go through some of my journals because I needed to refresh before I came in here, and because it's just been so long and I haven't thought about it.
Okay, so like, were there any coping mechanisms that helped the most with relapse prevention after you came out, or like with peer pressure into relapsing? Because I need help with that.
Yeah, I know that was hard for me too because when I got out, I had like really strong cravings just to like go drink or smoke or whatever it was. What I did was I really like to paint, so I would like paint and listen to music. I really like music. That was a big coping skill for me because I felt like I could relate. I like to listen to music that I can relate to, you know? Um, I like to like get out into nature and do stuff like go hiking. Another thing is like talking about it. Like if you talk to someone about how you're feeling, like you want to use or something, that's helpful because if you hold it in, it's only gonna like it's gonna build up and then you're gonna explode and eventually like make a bad decision. So always be honest about how you're feeling. It helps.
You wanted to drink or smoke, did you ever think like, oh no, a downfall?
Sorry, say that again.
When you like wanted to drink or smoke, did you ever think about like a downfall, like here and how that could lead you back?
Yeah, yeah. I think that it also another thing that I thought of was like disappointing my family. I hated to do that, and it seemed like every time I went to placement, I disappointed them, and I hated like seeing my mom upset and everything, you know. Did I like it here? No. I hated it. I'm sure yeah, I'm sure all of you hate it somewhat, but the thing is, you got to use this experience to make you stronger, you know? Here you go.
How did you like build a relationship with your mom?
Um, hmm. I think that having time away from my mom helped us to like heal. You know, like we would talk on the phone, talk through therapy sessions, and it helped us to work through certain problems. However, when I got home, things were a lot better, but my mom has some mental health issues, like just some like bipolar issues. And I think that's what made it the most difficult. Like we still would get into arguments and fights whenever I got home. It was a lot better, but it still wasn't good. So what I had to do was get myself out of there, and that's what I did. Because you can't change another person. You can only change how you handle that other person and what you do with yourself.
Did you ever like struggle with having like healthy boundaries with anybody?
Um, I feel like I have. I just can't think of anything. I don't know. I'll have to come back to that question. I can't think of anything right now. I'm sorry.
Did your mom support your recovery?
Yeah, definitely. Um, she definitely did. I think she supported it so much to where she like worried about it like all the time, which wasn't good, but yeah, she definitely supported it. So,
So, did the excitement of like going home ever like wear off eventually, or like when?
oh, yeah. Life is kind of boring sometimes. Like I feel like a boring adult but it's part of the beauty of being independent and having freedom is stability. Like I created stability for myself, which I didn't have growing up. And so like when I'm bored, I feel like a boring adult who just goes to work all the time. I just remember how unstable my life was and how I didn't have things, but now I do, and it's better than it was. So
Like certain back trying to bring you down.
oh my God. Sorry. I did I kind of did, yeah. I feel like I used to take certain things personally too. Like I had to learn how to take accountability. However, all of the group homes that I've been to, I'm not just saying Adelphi, all of the ones that I've been to, I have seen staff abuse their power. There are some really great staff here. There are. But so yeah, I hate seeing injustice happen like that because I've seen a lot of it in previous group homes I was in. Really, the only thing you can do is don't let it bother you. Don't just do what you need to do. You know, if you don't like what someone's saying or doing, just focus on you. Don't let it get to you, you know?
I have two questions.
Mhm.
I want to say the first one first. Okay. Do you think like you personalized a lot of things? Like a lot?
What kind of things?
Like just like in general, like when people, I don't know how to put it, like did you just take like a lot of things like personal? Like,
Yeah, growing up, I was kind of like sensitive. I still kind of am, although I learned to like toughen up a little bit and not take what people say to heart all the time. What's your other one?
okay. So do you just like, do you think that you, I don't know how to, like, did you ever like speak your mind, but it was like just the way you did it was just inappropriate?
That happened. I've done that a lot. Like I I had such strong feelings and thoughts. I didn't always portray them the right way. And that's why I got FTA'd and sent to Middle Creek because I did crazy stuff because of the way I was feeling and I didn't handle it the right way. I just had so many emotions that I wanted to get out. And yeah. Mhm.
So you're just like, so basically you're very like, what is the word? Empathetic? No, it's not. Like you just have a lot of empathy, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I'd say that that word makes sense, yeah.
Did you like struggle in school or like did you do well in school?
Yeah, the good thing about coming to Adelphi was that I got good grades finally. I hated my homeschool because I went to I went to Apollo Ridge. I don't know if any of you know of that school. It's in the middle of nowhere. I didn't really like the people there. I didn't like fit in. So I didn't really like school. I just wanted to like go home and like get high with people that I did like. So I didn't really take school seriously until I came here because I had time to focus on my schoolwork and actually get good grades. And honestly, the only reason why I graduated was because of the good grades that I got here. So like do your schoolwork here because whenever I got out my senior year in December. So I was jumping into the middle of the school year. I did not know what was going on. It was a bunch of crazy crap. I didn't know what the teachers were talking about. So my GPA was high from here, and that's why I graduated. So take your school seriously here.
One last question.
Okay.
What's your view on the confront system?
On the confront system, I feel like the confront system is made to help you take accountability, but it can be flawed sometimes. Because sometimes you may not mean to do something, like a staff may say, bring up, I forget some of the confronts, give me one.
No third.
Huh?
No third.
I remember that one, okay. Say a staff, tells you to bring up no third, but you thought you had like a third party or something. I don't know. It may not seem that way to the staff, and then they just want to give you the confront. Like stuff like that happens. It's not really a good example, but it can be flawed. Like it was frustrating for me sometimes to deal with the confronts.
Unfortunately, we have to run to our next class. So, ladies, thank you for your kind attention and questions. So if we give a round of applause. To Mr.